And so a lot of companies are saying, like, what is your AI strategy? And like, I think that's like a silly question. That's like asking, like, what is your electricity strategy? What is your internet strategy? Like, it's a ridiculous question. Like, we come to work every day, I flip on the lights, I automatically connect to Wi-Fi. I'm not consciously thinking about that. And that's where we all need to get to with our businesses, with how we're embedding AI into them.
Do you want this? Do you need it? I think that you should have it. I think that you should have it. Okay.
I spoke to Justin and Mike about coming out here. They were like, we want to have you out. There's a lot going on, AI, marketing, answer engine optimization. So we could talk about a lot of different topics here. We could go in a lot of different directions. What I think is most important, and why I wanted to throw this slide up, I know you guys can't see it over here, but it says, it's the AI first leader. And then like my subcategory for this is put yourself out of business. So just like to tell you a little bit about like where I'm at in our company. So we, name of the company is Adventure Media, founded in 2014. And it's been a hell of a journey, digital marketing and advertising, doing a lot of paid media stuff, Google Ads, Meta Ads, programmatic, SEO, all that good stuff, right? About a year and a half ago, we sort of realized that, kind of saw the writing on the wall, the work that we were doing that clients were paying us for was becoming extremely commoditized. All of a sudden, like, and this is even before Claude Code existed, that it was like you're going to be able to soon just like tap into the stuff, do all this work automatically. And then at that point, why do you need to hire an agency? And this has sort of been happening in cycles since I've been in this business. So we're no strangers to this. So we sort of embrace this mentality of saying like, we need to put ourselves out of business and sort of invent the next version of whatever our business model is before somebody else comes and does it. And we've spent maybe realistically the last 18 months on that journey. I think we've completely torn ourselves down from the ground up. I think now we're in a pretty good place. We're in a better place for sure, but still a lot of work to do. So what I spend a lot of my time doing is talking to people about this journey and trying to help them learn some things about some frameworks, mental models, and some things about like what I'm seeing out in the landscape on how to deal with change. One thing that I like to talk about here, wait, let's see what we got here. Oh, let's see. Actually, I'm just going to pull this up. I wasn't intended to do this. I was speaking to Lori before, and just kind of getting started on like Claude Code and stuff like that. And this is an important point. Again, I know you guys can't see this, but like, even if you're just using like very basic AI tools right now, you're still really early. And I think like there's so much noise and it's very intimidating that like you go on social media and like everyone you know is like, I'm building this, I'm building that. And if you're not automating everything, you're going to get stuck behind. And like I really felt the pressure of this noise about like a year ago, and then realized like if this is everyone in the world, like where like people using an actual AI scaffolding program is like this little red dot here. So if you haven't gotten started with any of these tools yet, like you're still really early and you'll figure it out. So don't be intimidated by all the noise. But what I like to talk about, let's see, where's my light bulb analogy? Here we go. Well, this is important. Right now, somebody is building an AI tool to try and put you out of business, to try and put downward pressure on the pricing model that you have, right? So like right now, today, literally today, people are emailing my clients saying that they can do the exact work that we do for 1/10 of the price. This has been happening for months. I literally had a client email me today with a termination notice because they're going to go with another firm. That's like, oh, they're going to use Claude and just like do all this stuff. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's the bad, like I'll sit here and defend and be like, well, it's like a crappy solution. Like, and I saw the audit that they did of my work and it was like filled with hallucinated like nonsense. It didn't matter, like, because still like, if someone's able to come in and say, I can do this work for 1/10 of the price, like enough people are still going to be willing to give it a shot. And I'm not going to be willing to risk my own business model to like wait around for people to realize that it's the bad decision. So like, that's why I always come back to this idea of like, put yourself out of business before someone else does. All right, enough of the slide deck stuff. We'll keep that up there. The analogy I give often is that we had factories before we had electricity. So electricity, I don't know, Ben Franklin did the kite thing in like the 1700s, right? But it wasn't really like, when was it? Do you have an idea?
Earlier than that.
1600s? No, 17 and change. Whatever.
The first documented evidence of electricity was the 50s.
Oh, well, yeah. But the kite experiment was the 1700s. Yeah. The kite is so important, guys. So the kite thing happens, and then like 50, 100 years later, the Industrial Revolution's way underway. But like we're not really using electricity commonly in the country and the world. Steam power, a lot of other great things are being invented, but electricity is not like in every household, right? So, but people know it's this revolutionary technology that's not going to go away, that it's going to like change everything at some point. We just don't know what that's going to be, what it's going to look like. So Edison comes along, he invents the light bulb. So now it's the late 1800s, and now people finally have this realization, literally the light bulb moment where they're like, amazing, I can put a light bulb in my factory. And instead of having to shut things down when the sun goes down, I can keep this thing running 24/7. So now I can ship product, I can be more productive. This light bulb, electricity will do this specific thing. I'll screw it into my factory, and now I'm more productive over time. That is where most businesses are with AI right now. They're trying to screw a light bulb. The light bulb is probably like ChatGPT to help you write emails or do like one very specific thing. They're trying to screw the AI light bulb into an existing business model and not realizing the full potential of what it's capable of. So realistically, what happened 10, 20 years down the line is you had other businesses, other factories that were sort of invented where it wasn't as if electricity was something they did. It was the core blood of everything that they did as an organization. It was a part of their products. It was a part of their manufacturing floors. It was a part of the job descriptions of the people that work there. New jobs were invented to be able to harness the technology. It looked very, very different. GE was born out of that era, right? And whoever they replaced, I don't know who they are. And that's like what's happening right now. I think we are all sitting here being very vulnerable to be the company that I can't name that was replaced by GE. And so a lot of companies are saying like, what is your AI strategy? And like, I think that's like a silly question. That's like asking like, what is your electricity strategy? What is your internet strategy? Like, it's a ridiculous question. Like we come to work every day, I flip on the lights, I automatically connect to Wi-Fi. I'm not consciously thinking about that. And that's where we all need to get to with our businesses, with how we're embedding AI into them.
Are you gonna buy it? I think that you should have it.
Like I said, we're a marketing agency. People are coming for us. AI is coming for us, whatever that might be. The other thing that my company now does is we've been leaning into this technology, and we now build a lot of agentic solutions for clients. We build a lot of AI-first solutions for clients, whether it's agents that do research, agents that are customer support, agents that will write blog content on brand for clients. We do a lot of AI-generated video, doing some really high-quality stuff. So like that's amazing. But then separate from that now, we do a lot of AI training. So like our company offers, we do full-day Claude Code workshops, we do half-day Claude Co-work workshops, we do private trainings for different kinds of company. We did Claude for Design for T-Mobile last week. Their entire design team had someone on our team teach them how to use Claude for Design. So we're doing that a lot. So people are asking us, are you a marketing company or are you an AI company? What's the deal? And the answer is they are the same thing. They have to be the same thing, and everyone needs to be thinking that way. Whatever you do now and AI are the exact same thing. I remember being in high school and hearing a stat that's like, 40% of you are gonna graduate college and work in a job that doesn't exist yet. And I was like, no way. And then guess what? Like my entire career has been in jobs that didn't exist literally 5 years earlier. Right. So like it's really hard to see that. And I think the same thing with like, as you lean yourself and your business into AI, it's really hard to see what the other side of it is. So like 18 months ago, we had no idea what our company was going to be doing. It was just like, we're going all in. We're gonna do some cool stuff. We're gonna play around, and then we're gonna figure it out, and then we'll see what happens. And I would never have predicted the kinds of work that we're doing now, the things that I spend all day doing. I never would have been able to imagine that even 6 months ago. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea, right? You got to go out there and you'll figure it out. You meet me at a dinner party, and I'm going to come across as the most like pro AI guy on the planet, but I'm terrified. Right. Like I'm literally sitting here saying that like my clients are leaving me in droves because they're like, oh, well, AI is just like taking your value away. It's a really weird, and I think like in the short term, AI is a self-fulfilling prophecy in that it is whatever you think it should be. Like if you're looking at it optimistically, saying like, it'll help me build a business, it'll help me do this, it'll help me whatever, it's gonna do that because it can, right? It's magic. But on the other hand, if you're like, oh, AI is just taking jobs, it's gonna be bad for me, that's also gonna happen. Right. Because I think that like, if you're not optimistic, that's really what you have to be afraid of. Yeah. Like you've probably heard this, but it's like the AI is not gonna take your job. Someone who knows how to use AI is gonna take your job. And I feel that same way. It's like that, the thing you should fear the most is your own insecurity. Midjourney is I don't even know if Midjourney is still around, but it's a generative AI tool that is for artwork. Midjourney was around long before ChatGPT. So September of 2022, I finally gave in and I downloaded Midjourney. And I am not an artist, I'm not an art guy. I've never painted anything, drawn anything in my life, right? Like I don't have that bone in my body. And so I download Midjourney and it's a Saturday morning. And my wife's a nurse, so she was at work all weekend. And I'm just like in my apartment, just like building stuff on it. And it was an unbelievable feeling. Like I can develop art now. Like it was so incredible. And I built, I made whatever, the crappiest artwork you've ever seen. But I spent like 48 hours head down on keyboard, like making stuff. And I was so proud of it. And so I go into work on Monday. And so Isaac Radanski is the founder of our company. He started the company, like ironically, but he was an artist before he started the company to try and sell artwork. We figured he was pretty good at marketing, better than being an artist. But he's an artist, right? He's he's an eye for this stuff, a brilliant painter, all that stuff, right? So I tell Isaac, I'm like, you gotta download this Midjourney thing, dude, you're gonna love it. And it's like, oh, cool, I'll check it out, whatever. I don't even know what Discord is, I'll figure it out. And so he downloads it. We're on a client call at 9 a.m. And at 9:40, he slacks me a message. He's like, yo, this Midjourney thing's cool. Check out what I just built. And he sends me an image that he built while on a client call. And it was like the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen that like tore to shreds everything I had worked on for 48 straight hours leading up to that point. Why? Because Isaac is an artist and I am not. And if he and I had both spent 40,000 hours, whatever the Malcolm Gladwell thing is, right? Or 10,000 hours, whatever it is, learning Midjourney, he would be up here and I would be here because he has that natural bone in his body. If you're a natural SEO, if you see the world through a certain lens, if you're a programmer and you're like, I can recognize things that should exist in this world. That's the value of a programmer. Has always been. It is not, I know the syntax of JavaScript. It is, I know that something should exist in the world, and then I have tools that can go and build it. And that is the valuable thing. And the beauty of AI is it allows us to spend more time on those things and less time clicking buttons and loading screens. There are two ways in which AI can impact your business. There is the internal efficiency, and there is the external innovation. And internal efficiency is like, I can do this stuff faster. I don't have to do this anymore, and I can do it, higher output, whatever. I think that's great. I think that's amazing. But I think that that's where like a lot of people are just focusing. And what we need to start doing more, like what I'm trying to like pull a lot of my clients particularly through, I'm sure you're doing this a lot as well, is like, stop thinking about that so much. Like, what are the things that you can now do that were not possible before AI? So like, we're now producing like full length, beautiful production style commercial video for clients. And we're charging them like $3 to $4 grand for it. Whereas like, 2 years ago, that same video would have cost you 40 grand to make. And guess what? That business is just not doing that. Where like I made not me, I guess my team that's like really good at this stuff, made an amazing commercial for a landscaping company in Westchester, Pennsylvania, like 2 weeks ago. Awesome, the animated dog gets up and is mowing the lawn of the whatever house. Awesome stuff, affordable for them. They wouldn't have had a commercial, like they don't have the budget for that. So AI allowed this to exist, which is gonna be the cornerstone of their marketing for the next couple of years, whatever it is. We're able to do measurement and analytics now that wasn't possible before. There are these certain kinds of measurement tools, measurement protocol in marketing called media mix modeling, whatever, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but like it's been around for decades. Like Coca-Cola and Colgate and like the biggest brands in the world have always done this. And it's a great way to know like the effectiveness of every incremental dollar invested. Small brands can't do it because one, it's really expensive to run, but two, you need a shitload of data to be able to like run that analysis. But now AI can forecast a lot of that stuff for you. So the barrier to entry even from a cost perspective, but from a data perspective is much lower. So now a small brand with like a $40,000 a month budget can get the same benefit out of this like analytics program that up until 6 months ago like was only relevant to Coca-Cola. Like it's an unbelievably valuable piece of like modeling technique that was just off the table. So like that's where I think about this like double helix thing of like, yeah, listen, efficiency is awesome. And like if your client doesn't have to take those phone calls or whatever, like cool, sick. But like what can they now do that was not possible before? And I think like we all need to challenge ourselves to spend more time thinking about that. But I'll also take the opportunity to shamelessly plug my new book, Never Always Never Never, Strategic Marketing in an AI World. This book is 50% marketing strategy and then 50% how to think about AI. And it's intentionally done that way because a lot of people are going to pick this up and are going to be disappointed because they're like, oh, I'm so excited to read about AI. Oh, cool. We're like reading about like marketing theory and like, which it's actually really interesting. I think it's fun. I think I spent 5 years writing this thing. I think it's good. You guys are going to love it if you want to read it. But you have to understand marketing strategy first before you start applying tactics to things. And I think that applies to like any sort of like AI like shiny object syndrome at all. Like, you know, maybe at some point we'll talk about answer engine optimization, but it's like it's all the rage right now. Everyone's like, how do I get reference in ChatGPT? And it's like, well, let's take a step back first. Like, why do you want to be referenced? And if ChatGPT does recommend you, what do you want it to say and to whom? And like, you ask people that and they don't have an answer to it. So it's like, okay, well, what is your larger marketing strategy? So like, that's the first thing to get across. So to specifically answer your question, there's a concept that was written about, I forget the name of the author, but it's called Blue Ocean Strategy. Maybe you guys have heard about this. They teach it in MBA school. There are red oceans in business and there are blue oceans. The red oceans where the sharks have existed, they've eaten a bunch of the stuff, it's red with blood. It's a competitive landscape where the rules of the game are already set. There are a bunch of sharks in the water, and if you want to survive, you need to be the most vicious, the best or whatever, but there's also very little business left to eat. Blue ocean is the opposite. It's you pave your own path. It's like you go and you figure it out, right? I have existed in very much a red ocean for the last probably 6 years, where, oh, you're gonna hire an agency to run your paid advertising campaigns on Google and Meta. There's like a very specific thing that most people have in mind when they've already made up their mind before they even come to my website. They have an idea about the kind of work that I do, the kind of meeting cadence we're gonna have, what we're gonna charge. So that's as red ocean as it gets. Like, and there's all these dynamics of my specific red ocean that have made it really, really difficult to run a sustainable, profitable business. Because like, forget about AI, like this nonsense, whatever has just been happening, people have been undercutting and doing grimy things for a long time. So I've been like actively trying to like find our blue ocean for a long time. And AI was sort of our ability to kind of find that blue ocean and become more sticky. So instead of just like, oh, I'm just running your Google ads and that's my value proposition, and at any moment you can unlink from my account and be like, thanks, see ya. What I'm able to do now is like help build and manage the operating system for a client's entire marketing engine. And I'm doing the analytics and I'm doing the creative, and we're building the agents that are like posting blog content or organic social or running their email campaigns. We didn't have the resources to do that 6 months ago. And now we are. And so we're able to sort of we have fewer clients now that we're providing more value for. And I think that's just sort of our path, hoping to find that blue ocean. We still have some work to do. What we did in my company, because I had that exact same thing, even though I got up in front of everybody and said, we're not planning on replacing anybody. We want to become an AI first company. This is the direction we're going in. And we are hell bent on making you all power users of these tools. Let's all go. And then I like ran to the room and no one was following. And this went on for basically a year. So it was like, what was going on? And they all had that kind of fear, insecurity. They didn't like it, whatever it is that you're describing that your students had. What we did and what we realized is they need to have that light bulb moment. They need to have that, oh my God, this is amazing and could be amazing for me. And so the advice that I give to people generally is that you need to find a use case that's outside of your job or outside of school where you can build something with AI. Because if something that you have a passion about or are curious about, that's when you're going to be like interested enough to figure it out. So we did at our companies, we had a hackathon in September of last year. So before Claude Code was a thing, we were using a tool called Replit at the time. And we said everyone's mandatory, or actually it wasn't mandatory. Basically everyone did it. We put a cash prize for whoever makes the best app. And most importantly, we said, even if you don't win, if you just participate, we're gonna give you a cash bonus. Because the thing is, everyone's like, oh, I'm not gonna win, I'm not gonna be able to do this, I've never written code before. But it's like, whatever, I'll screw around with this for a couple of hours and I'll get 250 bucks. Of course I'll do that. And the response in my company was unbelievable. It like jolted the energy, and all of a sudden all these people who hated AI, they didn't consider themselves as coders, they never thought they'd be able to keep up with this, they thought it was just gonna take their job, all the other bad stuff you've heard. Now all of a sudden these people are building, one of the girls on my team built an app called doineedajacketttoday.com, which plugged into the weather.com API, and she like uploaded everything in her closet to like help do like basically like outfit recommendations. Somebody else built an astronomy textbook that was like interactive, you click on stuff, whatever, she's like interested in that. Somebody else built, if you know what Goodreads is, you like rank books you've read, whatever. He built that for concert venues. And it's like a personal tool that he uses. Guy's like, he's a big music guy. He like ranks that, uploads pictures. Going through that experience where it was like, I'm not building something specifically for work, it's just something I'm interested in or I think it's fun, is the moment that everyone's like, holy shit, this is amazing. And obviously that the job wasn't done there, but that was the thing that I was, so when people are saying I need to figure out how to get people to be not so hesitant, do some sort of hackathon, get everyone involved in it, and enough of those people will change their mind like on the spot. So never always never never really is the rallying cry for human beings and what their value is in a world that becomes increasingly automated. Because in a world where a smart person still needs to make decisions, because it is not just linear sequencing where you can just have a computer do the same thing over and over and over again, there are still important decisions to be made. And from a marketing perspective, that's where I think about with strategy, but I think that applies to taste in creative or whatever your line of work is. So that's the rallying cry that I have a dog waving the pirate flag, never always, never, never. I have business cards with it made on it. It's and I really believe in it. I think it is a rallying cry that everyone should be able to get behind because it's the way to stay relevant.
Who found value today in the conversation? Kind of fun, right? Like we're all just trying to find our way. Patrick, thank you. It's not easy to stand in front of a room.
Do you want this?
I'm Justin Abrams. This is Mike Rispoli. We represent Cause of a Kind. We build software for people that can't build it themselves, which is kind of a fun time to be in. And so, you know, why are we here in a rock climbing gym? Like, it's kind of a weird place to have a technology meetup. You know, ironically, this is where me and Mike met like 20 plus years ago at this point. And so we bring everybody back here to get a little bit of a vibe and see the place that we all started our venture. And who knows, you might find your future business partner, co-founder, best friend in this room tonight, and he'll be part of your origin story too.
So I'm Chuck Reeves. I'm a senior developer advocate at Vonage. That means I just go around, I build a lot of the tools that help developers use our products.
Oh, you should try that, please.